Welcome to Introduction to Business 121 Online 800 series offered by the College of Lake County in Grays Lake, Illinois. My name is Dr. George Mochocki. This week we'll be covering three chapters, chapters 6, 7, and 8. This course is integrated with course management system Blackboard version 9.2. We also are utilizing McGraw-Hill Connect and LearnSmart integrated software to help you learn the subject matter through the publisher of the book that you're using. Okay, this week, before I go into our homework assignment, let's talk a little bit real quickly. This is our third week. So if you went through week 1, week 2, you've noticed that each week you go into the module, everything's all right. You already understand that your forms are graded, and what happens in a graded form is replaces the communication. Now, in the weekly forms, I'll upgrade your points within the week. You have to have your first post to me by Tuesday midnight, or you'll never get the full points if you're late on that. After Tuesday midnight, you can have the form going. Respond to my questions, and then maybe like Wednesday, again, you respond. Every time you log in, you respond to 3 or 4 more students. I'm looking for 10 to 12 posts a week at 3 different logins, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, or Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, and Thursday. And then Saturday will be your last post, only in emergencies up to noon. Most of your posts should be done by Friday midnight. Make sure you start using the person's first name. It's easier to follow the post. And in the subject matter, whenever I have something asking you, put the main theme or the main response you have in the subject area, so other people who are looking at 15 or 16 students in this course could look at it and say, hey, I want to talk on this one, or I want to get into this forum or blog, if you want to call it, lack of better words. I am start looking for, I don't want any more one-liners, hey, nice job. I'm not looking at that as a post. You should at least give me some substance, just like you would in the business world when I'm responding to somebody else. Part of this is replacing the communication, the face-to-face communication, but in a written communication. So if I am responding to a colleague's question or a customer's question, I'm not going to say, hey, what a nice job you did. I'm going to say you did a nice job because of this and this attributes. Did you consider this? Start using your business terms and concepts. I'm looking at not only the quantity of posts, so don't come say, I did my 12 posts and I still only got a B or a C. It's because they're just one-liners. You had no substance. They were just, you're just filling in the air. You have to give something back whenever you're doing it. This way, it looks like I'm a problem solver. I can look at the problem and I understand you know that stuff. So you're all right there. Make sure you're doing your connects. The connects are there. I'm not trying to burn you out. So what happens if you, like this week, if you have 2 connect homework that you're doing, if I'm not the same, let me look. Remember, I look at it. You have connects. You have 3 chapters. You're gonna only have to connect in chapters 6 and 7. Can be worth 30 points. And because if you look at the syllabus, each chapter was worth 10 points in connects, and each chapter was worth 10 points in the quizzes. But instead of burning you out and quizzing you out or assignment you out, the connect. If I give you 2 chapters to connect in a forum, and then the quiz is going to all by yourself. So this week the quiz is going to be worth 30 points. It's going to be on chapter 8. So you're going to have 15 questions. Each question is going to be worth 2 points. You'll get to 30 points. So the numbers are the same. This will be easier for you when you're doing the quiz. The quiz is a one-time deal. You have to do it once the quiz starts. I think I gave you an hour, more than enough for 15 questions to answer. You already read the chapters and you've done the work. It's just another way of assessing you. It's another way to make sure you know the material. Make sure you do the forms on time. Make sure you do connect and quizzes. Make sure you do the homework, everything by Saturday, and you should do well. This class is, remember, it's a 16-week course, condensed in 8 weeks. You're covering the same material, but we're going forward. And then you'll have one form this week, and the form we'll have this week is, do you have a form and you have 2 other assessments. These are quick and easy assessments, an online class. You click on the assessment in the week 3. One is, do I have it, what it takes to be an entrepreneur? And then you'll answer the 10 questions, and then it says, yes, I'm an entrepreneur, I have all the skills and everything else, or no, I'm not. The other one is, what kind of a corporations would you prefer to work with? It's just general information. If I'm one that likes the rules and everything else, I would like to be in a mechanistic organization. If I like one that's freedom and everything else, I like to be in an organic organic type of organization or a participative type of an organization. So you'll do those two assessments. It shouldn't take you more than 5-10 minutes to find out my own personal likes or dislikes, and then you'll go into the form and answer the questions I have in there. Okay, so we should be doing pretty good on that. And then if I look at the form, it has everything in there. Okay, let's go into this week's learning. The first chapter we have entrepreneurship. Entrepreneurship and leadership. So you have chapter 6 and chapter 7. We just finished chapter 5, the different types of businesses. When I look at entrepreneurship, it's an extension of a business. The only difference between a business that's existing and an entrepreneur is what you're doing to feasibility. Is an entrepreneur, we haven't done it before. When I say I haven't done it before, there's many hot dog stands. I want to open up George's hot dog stand. And I'm not buying an existing hot dog stand. Already I have historical data, I have some information, I have a customer base, I have an understanding because the person who I'm buying the business from already had some of the parts already all built. I'm just taking it like a retrofit and fixing it up and putting my personality into this. But a lot of it's already done. So it's like buying a used house. It's already all built. Now in entrepreneurship, it's like a new house. Even though a lot of houses have been built, a lot of hot dog stands are out there. So now I'm taking the risk. I don't have a customer base. I have anything else. I am trying to assume how to market the person, how to do things to that person, to get that customer understanding the market, and everything else is what you're doing right now. How do I expand into a new business venture or expand my process? So everything else, the skill sets, the risk-taking, everything else is the same in the business. The only thing is that as an entrepreneur, I'm not buying an existing one. I'm starting new and going forward. So there's more risk, there's more research, there's more of the unknown, and there's more how do I manage this, and a lot of us working a lot of time to get the business up and running. Once it's running and it's making money for you, now you have it, and now that's when you start going. For some of you, how do I expand this business to another venture? How do I expand my product line to something else? So that's everything else about entrepreneurship. And what you're looking about entrepreneurship is where do I get money, grants, small business. What's the difference for a business? Why do small businesses fail, especially new ones, entrepreneur? It's because it's not a lack of ideas and everything else. It's like a cash flow or for lack of planning. A lot of small businesses start with any kind of business plan. Just, hey, this is a good idea. Just jump in with their feet and realize it's way over their head, or they didn't plan enough and they'll still succeed, but they're really struggling. If they had some kind of feasibility plan to see if this market, or maybe I should have opened up someplace else, or maybe I've got the wrong product mix. And that's what you're doing now in your feasibility research before you go to the next step and do a full-blown marketing plan before you actually open up the business. So we're going into stages. So right now, you can take everything else you're learning into that. So that's what the entrepreneur, where does an entrepreneur get its money, how to write a business plan or a feasibility plan, what we're doing, what is a business plan, major functions, you have to decide, is it going to be a functional, or you open up because of a geographic, and then how do I manage employees? So it's a real good thing. It's just an extension. And it falls in from chapter 5, chapter 6, entrepreneurship, same skill set, same risk-taking, same unknown. How do I go into there? How do I manage my time? How do I do everything else? Will take us right into, am I a good leader? If I look at an entrepreneur, a small business, he is a leader, a first-line supervisor, a manager, and the president of the company. So what's a leadership? A leader is someone that has a vision and someone that takes all different functionalities: marketing, sales, advertising, accounting, control, logistics, management, HR, employee, financing, accounting. This is everything a small business has to understand. This is everything a manager, as he goes up or she goes up into a corporation, has to understand. We're going to do a SWOT analysis in a little bit. A SWOT analysis looks at the strengths, weakness, and opportunities, not only of the business, but of the individual as a leader. So everything I do as a manager, I'm always looking, is it going to make money? What's my risk? What's going to happen if I don't complete it in time? How do I make decisions? If I look at decision making, we all have to have a rational decision making. You have to know what the problem is. What is the process of decision making? And when we go into our marketing chapters, consumers have a certain way of making decisions. There's something's wrong. I got to cut my expenses. Where do I cut my expenses? Which makes good? Which decisions I hold off? Which decisions I have to act on now? All of that happens happens every day. Even if you say, I don't like to make a decision, you just made a decision. So in everyday life, we're making thousands of decisions. In business, I'm making decisions that will make me profitable, or decisions that will keep me from losing any kind of money or any kind of a risk. Okay, different levels of management, first line, middle management, skills I need, conceptual, technological, comprehensive skills. So if I'm looking at conceptual skills, I need the whole picture. At different levels, I need more skills. Future managers, more future managers are going to be women. They're going to be younger managers. They're going to be one that's going to be a generalist that understands the whole process, or they're going to be fine-tuned. Types of leadership. You're going to look at autocratic type of leadership. You're going to look at participative and team-based leadership. Most of the leaderships in medium and large corporations, even small, are more of a participative, team-based type of leadership. How am I going to measure success? You're looking at benchmarking as a leader. You're looking at external benchmarking. You're looking at internal benchmarking, and managing for the future. What's the future leader is going to be? It's not the autocratic type anymore. It's going to be fewer leaders. More of my employees are going to be more empowered. They're going to be very specific for the job. They know how to work in a team, and I'm just going to be managing different functionality, different teams, more to personality. So how do I build teams? And, they talk about the building teams. What's the difference between a cultural team? Remember, anytime I bring somebody else in the team, how diverse my team is. I get different cultures, different understanding, different languages, different competencies, different levels, different age experiences, different work experiences. All this makes my team. And how do I make this all together so the goals are the goals for the company and the objectives of the company? So not only do I as a manager succeed, the company succeeds, my shareholders succeeds, my stakeholders, everyone, social responsibility, everything falls in. So that takes care of our leadership. The last chapter, and I'm at 12 minutes, I'm timing myself to make sure I don't go over 20. All right, is basically make sure you look at your mind maps. The last chapter you'll be talking about adaptive organization. What you have to look at this chapter, you're looking at the Henry Ford and just different procedures. You're looking at why is there change. You're looking at structuring a company. Do I structure a small business? Do I structure by who does what? By department? Do I structure by functionality? Do I structure because of geographic? Do I structure by product line? All these things are happening as a small business. That's what you're going to be telling me in your feasibility. We think we should have a participative because we want to be responsive to our client. We think we should be more of a mechanistic because we're in a medical field. It has to be very logical, or in a computer field. It has to be very logical, rational, and everything else. Depending on your product, depending on the service, depends on what kind of structure your organization is that you're going to be recommending. Know the difference between the bureaucracy, the advantages of centralization, the advantage of decentralization. Most companies are hybrid. Centralized to buy by economies of scale because I can buy more, and they're decentralized, flatter organizations. Centralized organizations tall, flatter organizations are basically decentralized, and flatter organizations are more responsive to the customer. The customer's right there. I can make the decision instead of going to the corporate, coming back. By that time, the customer's with another vendor or supplier. Okay, so look at the span of control. When is the span of control means how many people could I control? I think it says like 10 or 12. As I get bigger, I'm the president of the company. I may have 3,000 employees working for me, but I actually have all these individuals. There's no way I could manage 3,000 people, but I may have 10 direct reports to vice president of the other company of the different departments, and those 10 vice presidents have 10 different direct reports, and those 10 different direct reports have another 10 direct reports that goes all the way to the first line supervisor. So when I look at the whole 3,000 employees, everyone has a manageable span of control, not one person controlling all of it. All right, so you have that way, different ways of departmentalization, ways to departmentalize, product, process, geographic, or consumer group. It depends on your product, and that's what you're going to tell me in your feasibility study. Building successful teams, other topics, real-time transparency, virtual corporations. What you're learning here, I'm going to take a little breather. What you're learning here in this thing is what's a virtual corporation. Adapting this change. You have to know the culture. How can my culture change? I might have to get rid of all my employees and bring a new culture. Remember, in this, the new agreement between employees and workers, not long time with a company. Most employees will take their job skills someplace else. If you have the job skills and the requirements because you've been keeping up with the education and keeping up with your own professional growth, you could stay with a company for a long time. But if you don't have them, I'll give you the severance payout to take your 401 that you've learned that you'll learn going forward when you go personal finance, and then you'll move on, and I'll hire someone who's got the skill sets for 3 or 4 years to move on. Many companies are already doing that even for a long time. You look at Motorola, for example, or AT&T. A lot of the engineers, they bid for the, not to, they're full-time employees, but they bid for the project. If they don't get the project, they're still there. They have to wait till they find a project. They're not getting paid. They're just considered like a preferred vendor until someone picks them up for the project. So they're always keeping the skill sets current. And then when they get the project, they may have it for 2, 3, 4 years. Or if the project goes on longer, it's extended. So then they stay with the project. All right. So this way, you always have the right people, the right skill set. Because remember, as an individual, I hire you not for your good looks. So sometimes it does help, but I hire you for the service you provide. If you cannot provide me the service that I'm looking for, if I go to a dentist and I have to have my wisdom tooth pulled out, so it's oral surgery, and my dentist is just fillings and everything else, he's a good dentist or she's a good dentist, but I have to go to somebody else who could do the surgery portion and put me out and everything else, and surgically remove my wisdom teeth. Do you see what I mean? It's the same thing as you as a person. Do not feel bad if a company says we don't need your services anymore. Your services could be good someplace else, but not with the organization unless you keep current. So what I'm trying to tell you, you'll never end up stopping going to school. Always keep your skill sets going up. I teach online, face to face. I teach a fast track. That means with 8 weeks, the same course. I teach what do you call a hybrid class. I teach a learning organization. All this other types of teaching platforms, same materials, just presented differently, is what keeps me current with it as a consultant, as an outsourcer, or utilizing at the college teaching this course online. Okay, and then look at organizational culture. Make sure you understand the formal and informal. The formal is really here's the chain of command. Everything else. All companies have an informal. Informal. Those are your leaders. Those are your grapevine. Those are individual within an informal organization that have, there'll be unions. They're formal but informal to what is the organizational mission. When I look at formal, it means you're getting paid. You're doing company business to meet a company objective and mission. All right, so that takes care of these 3 chapters this week. I know it's going fast. Before you know it, look, we're already week 3. We only have like 5 more weeks, and you'll be done with this class. And so you give up a little social life, but you'll get the same credit hours as you do in a 16-week course when we finish it in 8 weeks. All right, so make sure you go back into look at your feasibility project that's due, the report. Look at my quick YouTube. Make sure you use your concept map to provide us as Dr. M's mind maps or concept maps. Make sure you use the PowerPoints that I have in there. Look at the YouTube. I know sometimes I try to be a little more cheerful in my YouTube. So people say, Dr. M, you either talk too fast, I slow down, or you talk too slow, or you're boring. Remember, this is only 20 minutes. It gives you an overview of what you're reading, the McGraw-Hill Connect and homework assignments. Some of you haven't been doing them. Once it's finished, the week is done, it's passed. You can't make it up. So make sure you do it. Do not do all the work at the same time. Make sure you read the whole thing. And I think that's it for now. So again, this is Introduction to Business. 121 800 series offered by the College of Lake County. You in Grace Lake, Illinois. We'll be covering Chapter 6, which is Entrepreneurship, Chapter 7, which is Leadership, and Chapter 8, which is Organizational Culture. And my name is Dr. George Mochocki, and I'll see you in the forum. And make sure you do the forum. The forums, you respond at different times. Do not do all the homework at the same time, but spread it out during the week, similar to how you manage your time at work, at school. Do a little bit here, a little bit here, a little bit here, just like I do when I respond to you and grade your paper, a little bit here, a little bit here. And I could manage all 7, 8 classes that I'm teaching online and face-to-face. So have a nice day, and I'll see you within the forum. Bye.